Hi YouTube. Since my last video about Gary's justification of his abuse of the DMCA, he's released 2 videos attempting to debunk me, totaling in about an hour of rabid ranting. Of course, he's only shown himself to be illogical, hypocritical, and generally confused about the law and his own position. So I'm gonna do my reporting duty and show you all just how full of shit Gary really is. One of the very first things he says is that he's gonna file a DMCA claim against my video.
I'm gonna play this asshole's video, and then I'm gonna DMCA his video.
I don't know if he's actually done this yet, but we'll know soon enough. He tries to argue that my featuring of his content doesn't qualify as fair use, and he fails completely. Firstly, he contradicts himself when trying to categorize my video style.
Your news report is shit. If you're doing your reporting duties, and that's what this is, it's not satire or parody, you're doing some sort of news reporting. You're not reporting or teaching. You're not news criticism.
He must have decided that he didn't want to concede that my video qualifies as a work that fair use is specifically intended to protect. However, he also misrepresents the purpose of my video in a futile attempt at claiming my reporting was faulty and therefore not protected by fair use. He claims that this is a piece of evidence he can use against me.
You know what? Rosebush is a cunt, and I've resolved the matter with 7th Cycle, okay? So now even your news report is shit. If he's saying he's being a news commentator, and his news was old news, by the way, his news was basically reckless and foolish, because the matter he spoke of was resolved, but it doesn't matter to him. He doesn't care about being accurate or responsible, and that right there is proof of it. So here I got two pieces of evidence against this asshole. You know, first I got the recklessness that his news story was inaccurate. Second, I got the evidence that this image serves no purpose.
Obviously, this is a complete mischaracterization. He's doing something he accuses me of.
You misdescribed the truth.
My video was about Gary's misuse of the DMCA. The 7th Cycle situation was just the catalyst, and I presented it as background. Regardless of the outcome of that situation, everything I reported about it was true. So Gary states that he has no problem with the way I played his clips in order to argue against them, but his real beef is with an image of him that I used in the beginning of my video.
This straight dope asshole. It was fine, him using my clips where I'm talking and I'm just saying my shit and then he says his shit. I got no problem with that whatsoever. My problem with his video was this petty beginning, because there was no, part of the law is that you're only really supposed to use what you need to use. You're not supposed to use anything you don't need to use to do what you need to do. Now he started his video with this rather unflattering image of me, alright, and he zoomed in on it, right? Now, that was his fucking right? No, it wasn't his fucking right.
He says that he owns his face, he owns his image, and nobody has the right to use it. He also claims that he can argue that my featuring of the image wasn't necessary for my purposes, so it wasn't fair use.
That wasn't fair. That wasn't necessary to his purpose.
But I'm of course using an audio-visual medium, so despite Gary's opinion, when I'm commenting on a particular YouTube user, I find it necessary and helpful to display an image of him. Just because it's an image he doesn't happen to like doesn't mean it's all of a sudden a copyright violation. As Gary goes on, he unwittingly helps to prove that the use of the image was legal. A key criterion of fair use is the amount of material featured in relation to the body of the original work, and Gary shows that he recognizes this fact.
And there are all kinds of lines here. Like even in that example, okay, if you used a little 5-second clip, well, that's pretty safe, but then 10 seconds, 15, how long a clip are you allowed to use before all of a sudden you're just fucking exploiting somebody else's work?
But he also recognizes that he publishes thousands upon thousands of these images in every video he makes.
So I don't own my face anymore. This fucker owns it. He owns the million images, whatever, 170,000 images, or however many images in a goddamn fucking video. Now he owns them, right?
So my usage of 1 or even 100 of these images is insignificant compared to the immense body that Gary has made public. Another thing he doesn't seem to realize is that I own my audio just as much as he owns his image. In his response to me, he featured my audio in full, even though he knows that copyright law is supposed to prevent people from creating substitutes of original material. What this means is that Gary would have a weaker fair use argument than I if I happened to file a claim against him, which of course I won't do. One of the most ridiculous arguments Gary tries to make is that featuring the content of other users suppresses speech.
You're suppressing speech with this nonsense. There's a whole list of people who have been scared off the internet by little cunts like you. Alright? So I can make just as valid an argument that the spirit of the law is to protect against suppression of speech. Then I can demonstrate an argument that you're suppressing speech because no one will give anything away anymore. No one will put anything on the internet anymore if they have to worry about little cunts like you saying it's your property. This weak, cheap interaction on the internet that I think horribly suppresses speech.
This is particularly funny coming from a YouTuber who's known for screaming at people who don't agree with him, calling them every nasty name he can think of and then blocking them from his channel.
Fuck you, asshole! Fuck you, stupid fucking cunt! You little stupid goddamn cunt! You stupid ass. Fucker, jackass, cunt. Little cunts like you, asshole, fuck you, asshole, cunt. Anonymous faggots, asshole. Yeah, fuck you. You're an asshole. You are an asshole. Fuck you, cunt. 14-year-old putz.
Mocking or ridiculing a person using his own material is no more of a suppression of speech than the truly ugly and disrespectful manner in which Gary chooses to communicate with others. Case in point, here's a comment somebody left on Ujama Flipper's recent video, stating that he's reluctant to address Gary in a video because of the venomous response he might receive. But the truth is, the only way to really suppress a person's speech on YouTube is to file DMCA claims against him and have his videos taken down. So this line of reasoning is laughable and hypocritical to the extreme. Another laughable occurrence in this situation was the out-of-context section of the Visual Artists' Rights Act that Gary and his fanboys were copy and pasting to prove that modifying visual art in a way that could affect the author's reputation is against copyright law. They missed the definitions at the very beginning of the act that specifically state that motion pictures and audio-visual works are not included.
There was some quote in the law that was posted on the video, and it really did sound great. I mean, it just had all these right words in it, about distorting the content and all that. And apparently, I sort of had it in the back of my head that this sounded too good.
Gary was producing the section in comments even after having been told of the error. If this is a typical example of how thorough Gary is when examining the law, maybe his pro se lawsuits aren't the best idea. But there could be a simple explanation for his cherry-picking and willful ignorance. When explaining his blocking of everyone who disagrees with him, he had this to say.
I don't care what the law says. I think you are an asshole if you maliciously use somebody else's content.
Gary may have a truly ingenious position here. Not caring what the law says is really the best way to justify misusing it. I have to commend him for his strategic idiocy. Well, this has been an all-around fucking InMendham video, brought to you by Straight Dope. Have a good one, guys.